I am a Zumba instructor here in Colorado Springs. I teach at Lifetime Fitness and 24-Hour Fitness as well. A lot of people ask me if I've had any dance experience, and I tell them I took ballet when I was 5, but that's kind of the extent of my experience. My sister was a ballerina, and she did ballet throughout high school, and she did some in college, so she got into Zumba, and she really loved the whole dance aspect. And she got me into it. She's like, you have to try this class. It's so much fun. You just dance and you'll love it. So I tried it, and my first class, I kind of sat there like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what this is. I don't think I moved my arms the entire time, but I loved it so much, and I just kept coming back, and I became addicted, and I took it for a year and a half and started scheduling my life around it and made it seem like it was an appointment rather than just a fitness class. So 2 years later, I decided to get licensed as an instructor, and that will be almost 5 years ago in August. So Zumba is a Latin dance fitness class, and it derives off of 4 main movements, which is salsa, reggaeton, cumbia, and merengue, but it doesn't stop there. The really cool thing about Zumba is that it fuses so many different cultures together, so we move out into belly dance and Bollywood and soca from the Caribbean islands and just so many different variations, and it even extends into hip-hop in modern day. So Zumba really does a great job of uniting all these different cultures into one class. Zumba started by accident. Beto Perez, he's kind of our Zumba idol now. He was a group fitness instructor, and he's originally from Colombia, so he's got the whole Latino moves in him. He was teaching just a regular group fitness class, and he completely forgot his music, so he had to improvise. He ran to his car, grabbed some cassette tapes, because this was about 10 years ago, put them in, and he just kind of moved his body to the music, and that is where Zumba started. So the 4 main groups that make up Zumba are salsa, reggaeton, cumbia, and merengue. Salsa is very heavily originated in Cuba, and if you see Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, that's where a lot of that salsa moves come from. So a lot of Cuban influence. It also has a lot of influence from the cities, because we really brought it to the United States and popularized it in New York. And it's just really taken off all over the world, really, and it's been such a great influence in Zumba. Cumbia is another move that we base it off of, and that's from Colombia in South America. And the cool thing is that some of the moves really are influenced by the slavery movements out there. Reggaeton, that's where you're going to have a lot of pumping, and it kind of reminds people of hip-hop, but what it is very heavily influenced from Puerto Rico and a lot of island beats as well. And merengue is a big marching movement. It has a lot of core action, and that originates from the Dominican and Haiti and other islander areas. One of my favorite Zumba formats is called dancehall, and we describe it as, I guess you could say, reggae's rebellious teenage son or daughter. It's a lot of body action, it's a lot of just letting your body loose and moving to the beat, and of course it originates through the Caribbean area, so a lot of island beats, a lot of upbeat, a lot of shaking and moving to the groove. It really originates back to being a student. So when I was a student, I loved Zumba because it just brought me to this place where I could be happy and stress-free, and everything that was going on in my life you just forget about, and it really is a huge healing factor in everyday life. And what I love about being a teacher is that I get to provide that for my students. And I've had students come up to me and say, you know, your class has got me through a divorce, your class has got me through a really hard time in my life, it's got me just through so many different obstacles that we face, because it really is about just feeling the music, and people don't realize how strong music and dance can impact people's mind and soul and body, and it's just such a fabulous feeling to give to people. And after class, people say, oh, you know, I love your class, and that's great, but what I love to hear most is when people say, I love what your class has done for me, and that's what makes it the most rewarding thing. as with any other instructor, is really just making sure that your body is able to teach. And I know with the tiny little things, I tell my husband, like, don't get in a fender bender because I need my body, I need to teach. And you always have to worry about burnout, which means overdoing it and taking too many classes, teaching too many classes, and where you just don't have the energy to show up and be there for your students. So it's really important as an instructor to find time for yourself and to know when to take a break and to know when to back off. And it sounds easy, but it really isn't, because you love your class, you love your students, and you never want to just take some time for yourself when you can give so much. And I would say another huge challenge would be just all the constant stuff we get. We get so much choreo and so many songs and music, and it just makes you want to keep going and going and going. And you have to remember that it's not about you and your moves, it's about your students and what they want to do, and make sure that you're not changing the playlist every single week. You want to make sure they can follow along and not get too caught up into the craze of Zumba. If I could tell you one thing about Zumba, it would be to do it. So many people stereotype this class as, oh, Zumba's the class my mom takes, or Zumba's the class that middle-aged white women take. No, it's for everybody and everybody. So you don't have to be a dancer. You don't have to have any experience. All you have to do is enjoy music and be able to move, because you don't understand the power that dance and music can really do for your life. It really has changed my life. It has changed so many students' life. And it's such a community that it will do so much to better yourself as a person. Seriously, it will change everything for you, and people don't realize that it can be such a high impact class. They used to advertise that you could burn 1,000 calories in an hour, which is insanely intense. So whatever your fitness goals are, or whatever your personal goals are, or whatever your emotional, mental health goals are, I suggest you look into Zumba. It doesn't matter if you're good, it doesn't matter if you have no idea what's going on, just go and just have fun.